Hey, Blitzy. Hi! You came back. I waited for you. And Blitz is here too. So, I know what you want to see. You want to see all that work that we did in the previous videos come together. This is the video for you. So, we have the lights to do, which I know is a sore spot for many. It's not too bad. This one's just got a lot. And we're going to put it together. So, let's see how we did. Alright, we're gonna finish this today. Woohoo! And we're gonna start right off the bat with lighting. Everybody's favorite. We love to hate it, right? For this one, it doesn't have a light directly on the piece. It's kind of to the side later on. So we're just gonna build the little chandelier, and you're just gonna put the little spoon looking things up so that we can have a little texture. So every other one, we're just going to angle it up. Your pliers come in real handy for this. Something like that. I decided to put this piece together before we get too far. It's just two little tiny, this is what holds it into the ceiling. It's kind of important. Don't lose it. And then we're just going to glue all the beads in, just alternate. So the bigger or littler pink ones down below and the blue ones down there. You can go either way, whatever looks cool to you. And I did use my clear extra sticky glue, the alcohol-based glue. Now they want us to build kind of a little dangle in the middle. So you're going to put a bead down and then fold it in half. This takes me back to my jewelry making days. You're going to twist it up just a little bit so that it's centered, and then you're going to put a bead down the two of them to hold it all together. This is after it's dried a little bit, so everything doesn't fall off. And all those stringies, I pull them off after a while. And then we're just going to put it up through the middle so it fills it up. And then we put one more bead on the top, just to hold it all together. It should look like a little sparky little flower. And then these two are going to go through the holes. And then whatever length you want it to. I made it extra short, kind of like the picture. And then twist up the ends to hold it into place. One light fixture down. Alright, now we're going to end up making two of these lights. And what it is you're going to make it just like you made the flowers in the previous video. So you're going to kind of alternate the tissue paper. And instead of putting like beads or something in the middle, we're going to punch a hole. This is where the light's going to thread through. You should end up with something a little like that. and then you squish down the tissue paper. I put some glue in there so it had something to hold on to. And you're making kind of a looks like a flower with a light in it. And then just to make the flower look even more flowery, we're going to cut a few of these leaves and we're going to glue it on the outside. There we go. And you can make it as fluffy or as flat as you want. And then we're going to thread it through our little wood piece. So this one, you're just going to kind of bracket it in. You could pre-make it and then thread it through. Either way, I decided to do it this way. Kind of squishes it in. And your second one is going to be exactly the same way, but it's a different color. Mine was yellow. You get plenty of tissue paper. I mean, worst case scenario, if you ran out of tissue paper, you could use Kleenex, tissue paper you have from Christmas, anything. We also have a really easy light. It's just, it looks like a little flower bead. Put it on our light and then clamp it in with the wood pieces. Easy. These are very doable. All right, it's gonna start getting exciting now. We're building the floor. And don't forget to put the edging on. It goes all the way around the edge. It does fit. It takes 2 pieces, so you're gonna do one as far as you can go and then put the other one on the other side. If you have to trim it, trim it. So this piece is the second floor's floor or the ceiling to the first floor. So you're going to notice on the bottom there's holes, and this is where we're going to put all of our lights that we've been making. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these in the holes where it says. It looks like it doesn't fit, but they do. They just fit in there very, very tightly. You just kind of have to wiggle them in. I use my pliers a lot for these. I thought maybe I had to sand it down or something because it doesn't seem like this square peg is going to fit in the round hole, but it does. And try to face them the same way that they show in the diagram, because it does matter, because that's where, for example, the kitchen, the living room, everything lines up. For our pretty little chandelier, you'll notice there's no light for this one, but there is. So what we do is we're going to put the chandelier in the hole, just like all our other lights, and then we're going to glue the light to the side of it, kind of behind it. To do that, we just kind of bend the light up so it's kind of at an angle, and then we'll just hide it right. We'll try to get it in the middle as much as we can and just glue it down. And now I'm just going to organize the wires so we're all going towards this one hole here. I'm using my alcohol glue, kind of like a gel super glue. It works best for me with wires. It doesn't stick to my fingers that much, but it definitely sticks the wires down. We like organized wires. Something like that. Very nice. Now let's wallpaper some more things. This is the bottom. Yeah, this is the bottom floor. Make sure you don't miss all these little edges. I mean, if you do, especially on the floors, it's not that bad because you can always add them later. Alright, we got another light. You can do these. If you built the other ones, you can build these. It's all the same thing, just different material. So we're going to put this little flower on here. I glued everything in just to hold it in. You could probably leave it, but what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of glue on each petal. And I did end up centering the beads more towards the middle. And you're going to put the pink beads all the way around. And one on the tippy top, right there. And I would recommend letting that dry before you go to the next part. In fact, while that's drying, I can put the little bracket here. We now know how this works. So we're going to bracket this in. This is going to be what goes up in the ceiling. We'll just stick that in there. By the time we're done with this, we can glue the other parts. And we'll put the little purple ones out there. Another light done. Of course, you know what follows after we made the light. We need the ceiling to hold the light. So this is the attic, basically. And we just put this little guy right where the hole is. And then I'm going to glue the wire so it goes to that little slot on the side. It'll all make sense, so just follow the diagrams. More walls. We have a lot of walls. And the biggest one of all, the base. All the grass. Now I could have set grass this. I decided not to. But there was a lot to this one. I was kind of getting tired. But it's not bad for this wallpaper. And plus we cover it with a lot of flowers and moss and things. All right. Shall we start building a house? Yeah. Now we got the walls up. Time to fill it up. This is where all that hard work just comes into play. And it's very satisfying. The only hiccup I had was when I put this second shelf in, the book was overhanging too much, so I had to take that off right there. Once I glued it into place, and I did have to hold these quite a while, then I put the book right back on. And kept on going. There's two little coat hooks that you make on the side. And it's just a little L-shaped wire and then a brad at the end. Pretty easy. These little tiny, and you're going to see it in the bedroom later on, if you had to put little hangers on the wall, pack your patience, because you're going to end up holding them there for a while until they stick. Otherwise they start leaning and falling down. And this one also has a little towel or a scarf or something. I just cut it to size. I kind of glued it into a loose loop just so it would stay down, and then hung it. Let's keep filling the room, because that's the fun part. And to put the fireplace in, you had to string the wire through the hole at the bottom, the little mouse hole. And my little picture frame did hang over a little bit, the wire, and I just clipped the wire so it would be flush against the wall. So I'll say, if you're going to build this, make sure everything is away from the edges so that it'll fit a little better. Look at that. Just that alone is cute enough, right? We usually stop right here and call it good. But oh no, we got much, much more. Let's put a ceiling on this. This little roof piece did not lay super flat for me, but I lined it up the best I could. The wires didn't quite go where I wanted them. Just do your best. Once it's down and you're filling it with lots of ivy and things, you're not going to see the crack. And we're on to the second floor. Very exciting. Let's fill the bedroom up. Because again, it's fun. My only advice when building walls and things like that, try to get them as straight as you can, because especially when you're building several floors like this, if you're off by the first floor, it goes off all the way up, and then your roof doesn't match. You just get angry. So just take your time, make sure everything's nice and straight. All right, above the bed, there's a couple little sconces. I ran out. I didn't have any more of the little brad pieces, but I had a few leftover odds and ends that I was going through. Like a sequin could have worked. I have a huge brad, but I have these little tiny beads left from something. So I think as long as it's even, because there's two of them, I'm going to use what I have. Sometimes you just got to make do. For some reason, I think I didn't have the right amount, or I lost them, which is most likely. I probably brushed them off with my sleeve or something. That's okay. That means we get creative. So you're going to make little L's. And we're going to glue the short end into whichever piece you decide to glue it into. The gold piece is what goes against the wall. It's almost like you're building a pair of earrings. So you're going to put this little piece and then the blue bead on the end. And then we're just going to glue them into place. I will tell you, these slid around all over the place. So they're not, in the end, they're going to be all crooked. And I called it good because they actually stuck to the wall. You can see it falling, 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 falling. Just do your best. Yeah, see? That one was higher than the other. That's okay. That's how we put them in. And these don't have any lights in them. They're just purely decorative. All right, now we're going to build a shower head. It's just a big U or a J, I guess. And then I had one more little tiny brad, and I saved it for this piece. I thought it would be better to save the one because you needed the two sconces to match. So I just put it over here. And while that's drying, we're going to put in our bathroom. I think this is our first official bathroom we've actually built, is it? Yeah, I think so. And we're just going to put the shower head against the wall here. Funny enough, this room doesn't have a curtain. Scandalous. We're in the woods. Nobody's going to look. One more light. This one's pretty straightforward. It's just the little cone goes onto the light. This is going to be our bathroom light. We have one more light after this, I believe. And then this just kind of clamps on to this little triangle piece. It's part of the roof. All right, now we're going to put the cross beam right where the bathroom is. And you can see, these fit so tight, which is good because they ain't coming apart, but with the thin wood and everything, very susceptible to breaking. So be careful. But if it did break all the way, I'd just white glue it into place. And now we're going to build the roof. There's a hole to the side here that our bathroom light goes through. We're like giant electricians for a very small elf. And I just glued down the wires behind the beam so that you don't see it from the outside. Just like that. All right. Let's keep on going. Throughout this, especially towards the end, you're doing a lot of wire management. So once we get the attic floor in, now we're going to have to put this wire over. So you just glue it to the ceiling as best you can, as flat as you can so you don't see it. And then it's going to combine with the other wires. And you're just going to work your way down. They make little notches in the floor. And that's where your wires are going to kind of thread through. So from the very beginning, just make sure you follow the diagram because there's a rhyme and reason to it. It all flows into the same spot. There's a lot of lights in this one. And I just glued those down and clamped them so they're kind of out of the way. While that's drying, we're going to build the rug for the attic. The triangle shelf makes sense now, doesn't it? Ta-da! Again, make sure when you're building these, I know it's a little late now, but that the back is completely flat so that it goes against the wall. And that table that I just set there, I will tell you, I set it too far to the left because the angle of the roof. You got to account for that. So I did have to later on move it over. And I'm one pillow short somehow, and I just used the one that was from the front porch up here. In my head, I was like, I'll make another pillow later. I'll tell you, I never made another pillow. I got tired of making pillows. And then you're going to put this little paper strip. You can't put this strip before you put the beam across because it covers up the little notch. Another light. And this is the last one. This is the attic light. So you're going to take this straw tube thing, just cut it to size, and it's going to cover the light bulb area. And the light hangs off of this little filigree top. The little pieces, this is the very tippy top of the roof that sticks out to the outside. When you glue this wire down, I didn't do it far enough down. I should have done it all the way to the edge because it did kind of make the roof a little bit not connect properly. I kind of had to do some adjusting. So when you do this wire, either leave it completely loose or glue it all the way down to the edge as you possibly can. All right. It's time to put the roof on. if you've watched the Magic Treasure House, the one that opens up, this is really close to that as far as how many lights are in it. So this one's going to thread through the floor here, and it's going to match up with the other ones, and it's going to go all the way down. And honestly, this is also going to be a lot, very, very similar to what I think I'm going to plan for the dollhouse. I know, I got to work on that. You can see when I put this roof on, it doesn't exactly fit flush up there. So you kind of have to fidget, and it doesn't really tell you how the overhang is and things like that. So I kind of centered it, just made it look right. We had one more roof piece that we need to wallpaper quickly because somehow we missed it. And we're going to try to put it here, but see how that table's in the way? We're going to have to fix that. That's all right. We'll just pick it up and move it over. And now it fits. Ta-da! And then we're just going to add the roof to over the bathroom area. The only thing that I started thinking about, and don't think about it too much, is the chimney's over here, but the fireplace is over there. They just did a lot of tubing. We'll just go with that. Now you're going to have even more wires, but this is all of them. So it's like organizing your hair. So just try to make it as flat, as nice and neat as possible. Now, these wires later on are all going to get covered with ivy and things like that. So, but the flatter the better, the less you have to cover. And it should all fit into the little notches they provide. Once I had those about where I wanted, I just clamped it down and let it dry. Once I knew they were going to stay, then I put in the little cover-up pieces for the edging. It just covers all our little notches and bare wood. All right, we got the back side of the house done. Now we got to go to the front. So there's two little railings that we have to build. Basically the same way we did the little Juliet balcony above the window. These are just a little bigger. This other one, it's exactly the same, except, well, I guess it's not exactly the same. It's the same, but it's got different little pieces. So every other one will have this little Y piece, or it looks like a little guy kicking out, holding up the wall, ceiling. So every other, do it in a pattern. You could probably stick them together however you feel. Oh no, wait. There is one more light. I forgot about this one. This one's with the trellis and the ch- the porch swing. So this one's easy. You're just gonna use the little flower piece and put it on, just like that other one that we did. Honestly, I think the hardest part, if there is all the wire management. There are a lot of lights in here and a lot of wires. So 2 wires per light, right? So this one, I was trying to figure out exactly where I should put it, and I had to move it later on because it wasn't just centered right. But you're just gonna tack it on with some wires. This is gonna get covered up with all the ivy. There's a lot of ivy and flowers and things. It hides all our ugliness. It'll go something like this, but I will tell you, I do change it so it's a little more centered. All right, let's put in our porch railings. I would totally live in this house. This is my style. I love the rustic, in the woods looking. All right, we're gonna put our little lighted trellis here. It just kind of just lace it through the fence on the bottom. It's going to go down and under the porch there. And this is when I put it down, and I didn't like where the light was. And it's too forward. So I did move that. I didn't like that. Let's try this again. Oh, that's much better. There we go. Easy fix, especially when it's just wire. You just cut it and put it where you want it. Take two. Let's re-string this. And I'm just gonna hide the wires behind the pole as best as I can. And then you're gonna tuck it right underneath this porch here. So I just glued it up right in the crease as much as possible. It also helped hide all the where it's uneven underneath there. There's some gaps. And then you're going to come out the edge. So you're going to go around the corner to meet all the other wires. All right, the fun part, right? Everybody's favorite. It's not that bad. So we need to make a box for our battery pack, the power little pack thing. And this one's got a door, which is kind of cool. And all we do to make the handle is we're going to use some of the wire that was from the flowers. We're just going to string it through and twist the door handle. It's like a little, what do I want to say? A little hook. And then on the other side, we're going to string a bead. So that's going to be what the hook kind of wraps around. So to keep the door closed. And then we'll build our box. And this is how the latch should work. Something like that. So that little window is where your on-off switch should go. And then there's a hole down where my thumb is, and that's going to be where the red and black wires are going to go through. Okay, now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty here. So what you're going to do is you're just taking the covering of the wires off. So for the black and the red ones, they already have it pre-scored, so you're just going to take that part off. For all the other wires, we're going to kind of gather these together. So I'm just going to cut them to length, so because we don't want all these wires. And I'm just going to find the right length. I always go a little bit longer than I want, just because. I'm going to give it a haircut here. We want to make sure all our wires match up. Yep, something like that. And what you're going to do, I usually use my fingernails, but I thought I'd save my manicure this time. And I'm just going to use my snippers, but gently, 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 very gently. I'm barely even touching it. Just peel the cover off because you don't want to cut the wires underneath. If you cut any of the wires underneath, it's not going to work properly. You'll notice that one light's out or something like that because it's not touching. If that happens, if you accidentally cut through, I do it all the time, just start again a little bit higher up and just peel the plastic off. It does come off. These little tiny wires are they're pretty soft. So I'm just barely, just enough so it grabs it and pull. Just barely enough to grab it. Don't clamp, otherwise it'll cut it, and pull. Once you get them all exposed, just like this, we're going to have to separate the white from the gray. If you're slightly colorblind, you might want to mark them ahead of time. I did test to make sure, which color should go to which power strip line. So we're going to separate all the off-white-ish colors, light gray, into one bundle and all the darker gray into another bundle. It takes some time. And make sure you connect all of them, including the fireplace one and the front porch one. There you go. And then I'm going to twist all the same color together as tight as you can do it. The more contact with each other, the better. I like to use shrink tubes. I think they provide tape. I didn't see it. I must have lost it or something. But you're going to, for me, it was the red wire to the white and the black to the gray. Test it before you seal it up. And inevitably, there's always like one light that's wired backwards. So test, test, test all the way through before you seal it all up. We got the white ones all connected. This is a big bundle here. Usually we do only 1 or 2 lights, but this one's got 9, I believe. There's 9 lights in there. So let's get that together and put it to the black wire. Again, yours might be different, so test them before you seal it. And that's exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm holding it together. It won't electrocute you. There's not enough power for that. But I'm just holding it all together and making sure, yep, it lights up. We know this works. So let's go ahead and seal this up. And I'm using shrink tubes, so I'm using my heat gun to shrink it down. It just tightens around it. They're very cool. Easy investment because you just go to any hardware store, get you a pack of them. They're dirt cheap. I bought one probably 5 years ago, and I'm still haven't used it all, especially for these teeny tiny ones. But they seal all up, and then we're just going to glue our battery pack right into place. Now they kind of wanted us to do the wiring towards the end, but I decided I wanted to do it before I did all the decorations, things like that. And I wanted to make sure everything works so that I don't have to fix anything. It's a little more, it's a little difficult when you get it all pretty and everything, and then there's one light, you're like, gotta pull that one and fix it. So I like to get the wiring just done and all squared away, and then we can have more fun. All right, now we're going to just make a few little pieces that we needed to do. We have some stepping stones that go off the stairway, and then there's a step from the door. And we're going to add some decorations to our porches. All right, I thought I filmed myself putting the stairs in there and the side a little ladder in. For some reason, I can't find the footage at all, but the little staircase just fits right in that curve, and you just glue it into place, and then you add a ladder off the side of the little balcony off the top. I'm just trying to show you there. That's where the ladder would go. Or not ladder, the staircase. And I also put some stuff in front. I know I filmed it. I don't know where it went. But we're going to decorate the whole front here with our table and chair. And a few little potted plants. But you're going to put yours anywhere you want anyway, so. All right, now we're going to get our little fence in on the bottom and start doing some more decorating. That was a weird way to say it. Decorating. In the book, it had you do a piece and then moss it, and then do a piece and then moss it, do a piece and moss it. So what I decided to do is I put all the structural pieces in, and then I can moss everything all at once because it's one of my favorite things to do. Just mossify it. And I like this stringy stuff a lot. So I put it all over the place, and I gave it a haircut where it needed. Although I do kind of like it a little jungly. For the stairs, there's an extra layer of these little ferns. So we're just gonna put that all the way up. This, the little elf that lives here has a very green thumb. And once we got all our greenery, it's time to use all those roses you made. And then for the ground cover, I just chopped up that yarn that we use for the ivy and things. Just chopped it into smaller pieces and then glued it all over the grounds. It's very northwestern because we have moss in our grass. Absolutely. Moss, clover, mushrooms. And then you're just going to put your plants anywhere and everywhere. Everywhere that'll fit. And there you go. Woohoo! We did it! Oh, that was a big one. I thought, okay, I'll build all the stuff. And then the finale, that might take me a few hours. Oh no, I had 9 hours of footage that I had to sort through. That's why I broke it into two parts. And I do apologize for that, but bite-sized pieces. But oh boy, I really, really like the end result on this one. It's beautiful. And especially with the lights on. It's so pretty. I put this one in a display case. I had an extra case that from Temu or something like that. And it's like, perfect, because I do not want this to get dusty. And as pretty as the front is, we also have a back. We built rooms. This is what we built: a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, a bathroom, and an attic, plus the outside. Oh my goodness. Pat ourselves on the back. This turned out really, 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 really cool. Great view from up here. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had fun making it. Well, fun? Yeah, no, I had fun. It was a tough one, I'll have to say. You know, if we don't get challenged every once in a while, what's the point, right? If they're too easy, then it's like, another one, you right? So this one, for me, was a little bit of a challenge. It just had a lot of moving parts. Another thing that I would say about this one, it's very tight. You're gonna get some strong fingers. So it was a little tough, but I mean, nothing the right tool won't fix, right? So another one in the books. I hope you enjoyed this. If you try to do this one, just take your time, pack your patience. I think you'll do great. You'll probably do better than me. But if you like, I'll make it along with you, and we'll struggle together. So if you haven't already, you know the spiel. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for all of you that have. And we hit over 5,000. Holy cow. Let's go for 10. Let's have a goal. You know, when I started this, I was ecstatic to hit 1,000. I made a plaque. And 5,000, inconceivable. 10? I don't know. We might make it, right? Let's try. So hit a thumbs up if you like it. And I have a whole lot of other videos you can watch in the meantime. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. It's really nice out here.